Hello, hello. Thank you for joining me today. So today is going to be a pretty powerful tapping meditation. Not that I don't think all of them are, but this one kind of spoke to me and it was requested actually, and I'm really glad the request came up. So today we're going to talk about forgiveness and the impact that it can have on your life when we're able to forgive a certain situation or a person in our life. And the impact can be great, you guys. It can be anywhere from feeling better in your health, your finances even, your relationships every day, your energy level. I mean, it really can be a widespread, very impactful thing to forgive a certain situation or a certain person. And I'll explain a little bit about why it works so that you understand the importance of forgiveness and letting go of that anger. And I have a really cool story to share with you today. And then we'll get into the tapping meditation as well. So let's dive right in. How many of us have somebody or something in our life that we could let go of, forgive, and just, be done with it? I know that I do. I'm pretty sure that everybody that watches this video probably has something that they could forgive, right? So I want to talk to you a little bit about, and the cool story that I found about Wayne Dyer. So in my research for today's tapping meditation, I came across a story about Wayne Dyer, and if you have followed personal development at all, he's really a pioneer in the industry as far as getting us to understand that our thoughts create our reality. I followed him for years, but I didn't know this story. So I did not realize that Wayne had a very tough life growing up. He had an abusive father. His father was a womanizer, a criminal, he was a drunk, and he left his boys at a very young age. In fact, the two oldest ones were 4 and 16 months, and he left on the day that their mother was giving birth to Wayne Dyer. So the two little ones were at home fending for themselves, 4 years old and 16 months old, like, come on. And he went on to, for the first 10 years of his life, live it in orphanages and foster homes, and really wasn't reunited with his mother till 10 years old. That also created a very hard life for him later in life. So it even took him to the point of standing on his father's tombstone, or standing in front of his father's tombstone and screaming at him for a full 2 hours, because he felt like everything that had gone wrong in his life was due to him not being there and not raising them the way that boys should have been raised. And what's interesting is what happened after he got done with that 2 hours. So he got in his car, he started to drive, and something inside of him told him to turn around and to go back. He had no idea why. He just was following his intuition and his gut. And we know that if we listen to our gut instincts, they're usually always right. Am I right? So he went back and again found himself in front of his father's tombstone, and without thought, he just started spilling out words that actually shocked him as well. And I'm actually going to read those words to you. It went something like this: "From this day forward, I will send you nothing but love. Who am I to judge you? Who am I to say that you didn't do the best that you could? I know nothing about your life. Starting now, I send you nothing but love. Starting now, I forgive you." How powerful is that? Like, really think about those words. And if you were able to say those words to that one person that you really feel wronged you, how powerful of a tidal wave would that create for you in your own life? Now, what's interesting is what a lot of people think is, if I forgive somebody, that allows them the permission to keep acting that way, or that's me telling them, hey, it's okay, when in actuality, that has nothing to do with it. You are forgiving that person for you, not for them. It doesn't mean you need to become best friends with them. It doesn't even need to be a case where you call them up and say, hey, I forgive you. Internally, you are disconnecting the emotion from the thing that happened, right? So when we are holding on to anger, I want you guys to think of when our ancestors, we've talked about this before, when our ancestors were running from tigers and bears and whatever, that primitive part of our brain is what keeps us safe. So that part of our brain tells us to run or to fight, right? So our primitive brain keeps us in this mode of anger and not forgiving because it's safe. Because if we feel like we forgive or we let go of the anger, then we open ourselves up to be hurt again. And so what we're going to do through this tapping meditation is really calm that amygdala down and that primitive brain down and say, no, 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 it's okay to forgive. It's okay to let go of it. It's okay to move on. I'm done with it, right? It's served its purpose. I'm over it. I'm going to start moving forward. When Wayne was able to say those words to his father's tombstone, and in turn his father, some amazing things started happening for him. He actually went and held up in a hotel room for 14 days. He wrote his first book that stayed at the top of the New York's bestsellers list for 64 weeks and has since sold like 35 million copies or something crazy like that. But on the health side, Wayne lost a ton of weight. He started to feel more energy. His daily experience completely changed by simply forgiving his father for being the person that he was and creating the childhood that he did, right? So just simply forgiveness created this tidal wave of things that happened for him. And if you know anything about Wayne Dyer, he ended up passing away a few years ago as one of the greatest personal development people in history. Millions and millions of followers, and learn from his teachings and follow what it is that he has laid out so beautifully for all of us. So really just a wonderful reminder of what forgiveness can do for us, or example of what forgiveness can do for us. So right now I want you to grab a piece of paper, because we might not feel like we're super angry about somebody where it's like affecting our everyday life, but you would be surprised at what comes up when you start asking yourself certain questions and really sitting with the answers. The connection that can happen is quite astounding. So I want you to grab a piece of paper or your journal or whatever it is, and I want you to take 3 deep breaths. Now I pre-recorded this video so that you could pause it and then start playing it again instead of doing a live, so that you can actually sit and think with each one of these questions. So when you're ready, I want you to take 3 deep breaths. And I want you to imagine that the person you've been refusing to forgive is walking into the room where you are right now. Okay? So you're sitting there, comfy in your home, and that person walks in. How do you feel? Okay? How do you feel when that person walks in? Does your body tense up? Do you become really angry? Do you become sad? Where are you feeling it in your body? What are some of the memories or the thoughts that pop into your head? Write those things down. What I want you to imagine is what life could be like if you could actually just forgive this person. Like, what could your life really look like? And I don't know that you really even can grasp the whole spectrum of what can happen when you're able to forgive, okay? So think about those things, about that person walking in and all of the emotions that come up, some of the memories that come up, and where you're feeling it in your body, and really take some time and sit with those and kind of get clear as far as what that person did for you. So in this meditation, what I could, we could, talk about past hurts. We could talk about several people that wronged us and whatever, but I really want you to go for the gold here. I want you to dig deep, and you might not even have to dig very deep. I can think of a couple people right off the top of my head where I really feel like, because this certain thing happened, it created this spiral of events, right? So those are things that I need to tap on. That person is somebody I need to tap on, right? So think to yourself, like the person that really gets you going, like the person that really makes you angry. If I were to say their name right now, you'd get all tensed up. Think about that, and that's the person that we're going to tap on today. So the tapping meditation today is I refuse to forgive. And the oil that I am going to use today is out of our yoga collection. This has 3 different oils in it. Arise seems to be everybody's favorite, but I'm going to use Anchor today, and I've actually been putting this on all day today. It's a really great grounding oil. I just love the smell of it, but it really kind of centers you and grounds you. Another oil that you might look for is Balance. That's our grounding blend from doTERRA, or Frankincense. That also helps ground us and really promotes that meditative state. So any of those will work, or an oil that speaks to you right now is always the best way to go. Really listening to our intuition is what tapping and meditating and really getting in there is, just listening to our bodies, like really going with what intuitively speaks to us and going with that, because your body knows. You just need to tune in and listen. Okay, so I want you on a scale of 0 to 10, 10 being the most angry you've ever been, 0 not really feeling anything at all. Think about that person and put a number to it. And then I'm going to have you take a couple deep breaths. So we're going to take 3 deep breaths. Awesome. And we're going to begin our tapping meditation. I'm going to have you repeat after me. All right, on the karate chop point. Even though I refuse to forgive them because of what they did to me, I love myself and accept how I feel. Even though I refuse to forgive them because of what they did to me, I love myself and accept how I feel. Eyebrow. I can't believe they did that. Side of the eye. I'm so angry. Under the eye. It's not right. Under the nose. It's not fair. Under the mouth. And I refuse to let it go. Collarbone. All this anger. Under the arm. All this anger. Top of the head. In every cell of my body. Eyebrow. I can't let this go. Side of the eye, because they don't deserve that. Under the eye, they don't deserve my forgiveness. Under the nose, and I refuse to let it go. Under the mouth, so much anger. Collarbone, about what happened. Under the arm, about what they did. Top of the head, about what they said. Eyebrow, I can't let this go. Side of the eye, I don't deserve what they did to me. Under the eye, and they don't deserve my forgiveness. Under the nose, I deserve better. Under the mouth, all this anger. Collarbone, I can't let it go. Under the arm, I'm so angry. Top of the head, all of this anger. Eyebrow, I can't live with what they did. Side of the eye, but this anger is too hard to live with too. Under the eye, I can't let this anger go though. Under the nose, but I don't want to keep it either. Under the mouth, all this anger. Collarbone, maybe I can let some of it go. Under the arm, maybe I can release part of it. Top of the head, letting it go. Eyebrow, releasing it now. Side of the eye, from every cell in my body. Under the eye, I don't need this anger anymore. Under the nose, I'll be stronger without it. Under the mouth, I can protect myself without this anger in me. Collarbone, letting all this anger go now. Under the arm, even though it still feels hard. Top of the head, it still feels like I need this anger to keep me safe. Eyebrow, I can't live with what they did. Side of the eye, but this anger is hard to live with too. Under the eye, releasing this anger now. Under the nose, letting it go now. Under the mouth, I don't need it anymore. Collarbone, I'm safe without this anger. Under the arm, it's safe to forgive them. Top of the head, letting myself feel peaceful now. Take a deep cleansing breath And go ahead and rate yourself on a scale of 0 to 10 again and see if it came down for you. Now remember, if it got worse or you feel worse, that's okay. That's energy moving. Let's tap again. Use the same meditation until you achieve the desired level of peace that you want. So I would venture to guess that a few times of doing this and really focusing on that person is going to get you some pretty awesome results. I would love to hear how it works for you. I would love to hear how you feel after that. The other part of this is that there was a question about forgetting. So what's interesting is when we do our tapping and we separate ourselves from the emotion of what happened, all of a sudden the forgetting part is going to take hold, right? So it's going to be where it's not governing our everyday life anymore. It's not going to be in the forethought of our brain all the time. And the forgetting part will just naturally let go. It won't be something that you're remembering every single day. So what's going to happen is that you're not going to completely forget, and you might completely forget that it ever happened. Some people have had that big of a shift. But 9 times out of 10, we won't forget that it happened, but we're just not going to have that emotional connection to it like we do right now, which is what is infiltrating every single area of your life. So I hope this video finds you well. I hope that you're having an amazing week and that you have an amazing night. Let me know what this tapping meditation did for you, and if you need further help, go ahead and reach out. I'm always happy to help you dig a little deeper because our brains do tend to try to keep us safe. So sometimes you need a little extra oomph. So I will talk to you soon, my friends. Have a great night.